Welcome back to Carrow Road for the final time this pre-season. It's done. All the training is finished, and Norwich have finished on a high with a 1-0 win over French side Toulouse here this afternoon, and that's it. All the waiting is done, and we can start talking about Liverpool and Anfield and European champions, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, all those brilliant players that Norwich are going to be coming up against on Friday night. That incredible high-profile challenge in front of the TV cameras, the whole world watching. It's going to be quite a Friday night. But to start with, Norwich have finished pre-season on a high, bouncing back from that 4-1 defeat to Atalanta on Tuesday night. Bouncing back as much as you can in pre-season anyway. Of course, these results don't mean a great lot. You never truly know how much players are holding back from injury, how much they are just focusing on certain things. Particularly this final friend, I always think is one where players are thinking, I don't want to get injured here, I might just dodge that tackle. But overall, Norwich played very well this afternoon. Daniel Farke definitely smiling, willing to overlook a bit of profligacy. They've won 1-0, but they certainly should have won 3 or 4-0 comfortably. Although Ralph Farman was needed to make one very important save right towards the end. Overall, a really positive way to finish things. Toulouse are a decent side, top flight side in France for this will be their 17th season, so you can't ignore that. Okay, they did flirt with relegation a little bit last year, but they had some decent talent on show, and it was a decent game, probably a bit more pre-season paced than Tuesday was. The first half against Atalanta in particular was frantic. Both teams really went for that one as if it was a proper game, and Atalanta were certainly stronger, but Toulouse were still clearly a very decent side, so Norwich will be happy with the way they finished this one. And as I say, I'll go through some of the chances, but there were absolutely loads, so I don't think we're going to get through them all, frankly, but I've tried to break it down into as concise a notes as I can manage, so bear with me because there were a lot of chances. But firstly, Emi Buendia, he forced a good save in the 21st minute in a fairly tame start to the game, actually. So much so that Tim Krul made a save in just before the half hour, which was ironically cheered from the Barclay because there hadn't been that much goal action up to that point. After that, Emi Buendia swung in a free kick from the right, and Kenny McLean managed to get a header goalwards, which was pretty much cleared off the line. Not 100% sure if it was going in or not. That's the sprinklers going off if you're wondering what the sound is in the background, although I've got a new microphone, so hoping that the sound quality is a little bit better actually. Norwich then had one disallowed in the 33rd minute. That was Ben Godfrey. Emi Buendia involved again, a Grant Hanley header from his corner, and then Godfrey was clearly offside, and when he nodded in from close range, the keeper couldn't keep that out. Toulouse did then hit the post just about, their defender Rogel, he followed in and nodded a loose ball down, which Krul had covered, I think you could probably say. From there, another save from Krul from Canaries, who was a summer signing. He's a Greek international. Got down well to his left to keep that one out. And then Teemu Pukki in the 38th minute fired just wide, just beyond the far post. So you can see things are properly warming up. There's plenty more to come. The 39th minute, Kenny McLean scored his goal. I didn't quite appreciate it as much in real time, but it was a lovely pass from Emi Buendia. Basically cut out 4 Toulouse players to find McLean in the centre of the pitch, and Kenny unleashed a low shot from 25 yards, which the keeper had no chance with really. He just saw that glimmer of light and went for it, and it was a really nice finish actually, so that did relieve a bit of the pressure. Toulouse very nearly equalised just before the break after Buendia had charged back defensively to try and do the good work, but then got dummied, and as the ball came into the box, Tim Krul ended up having to hold the ball well. The one change at half-time was Ralph Farman coming on. He played the second 45 minutes, and same as Krul, there were some saves for him to make during that second half. Right at the start of the second half, though, it should have been 2-0. It wasn't Teemu Pukki's day. I think he was fairly frustrated by the time he was replaced by Josip Dermish midway through the second half. Literally within 60 seconds, Stiepermann stole the ball off a defender, played it to Pukki. In a league game, I think Pukki would have just put it away straight into the net, but he hesitated, tried to go around the keeper, and ended up getting pounced on essentially. So that didn't work out. Then it was a Norwich hit the post. That was Emi Buendia, teed up by Pukki. To be fair, Buendia absolutely clattered the left post in front of the Barclay. Low shot. The keeper had absolutely no chance with that one. Then it was Todd Cantwell's chance. Todd also had a good chance in the first half after being chipped into the box by McLean. He nodded a header on, which the keeper tipped over the bar. Another deep breath. But yeah, two quick chances in quick succession for Todd. The first one, he was played clean through by Emi Buendia, but the ball was just spinning a little bit and he didn't quite judge that correctly, and ended up sort of firing over the top right corner. But then literally within 60 seconds he had another chance. Jamal Lewis pushed him a little bit wider than he wanted to in the left of the box, but he cut back onto his right and smashed a low shot similar to Buendia had done on the other side, and that flew past the far post, and the keeper would have had absolutely no chance with that one. And I don't think I can continue going through all these. There are so many chances. I'll probably be here for another 10 minutes. So given that it's a pre-season, we'll probably wrap it there. And I'll just say that Ralph Farman made one very important stop right at the death in the 90th minute, which was from Max Gradle, who used to play for Leeds and Bournemouth and Leicester, among other clubs. He's kind of Toulouse's best player to a certain extent. There was one other chance of note really for Pukki before he was taken off. Was put clean through by Marco Stiepermann. How many times have we said that? And again, didn't take the chance first time, hesitated. Last season, it's one of those ones, like against Preston at home, if he'd have taken it first time with his left and gone towards the far bottom corner, as we know he's capable of, then he could well have scored, but he hesitated, and then the keeper was able to close him down. So a team who did look a little bit disappointed when he came off, but it's pre-season. Hopefully he's saving it for the big night at Anfield. So I think we got a fairly good idea of the team, although no more than we probably already knew. Krul starting in goal, Lewis and Aarons at full-back, both were very good today, I thought. Particularly Jamal, I thought, had an excellent game. Grant Hanley and Ben Godfrey playing in central defence, looking like, unless Tim Close can really step up his recovery. I mean, it's only a minor thing, he's got a hip flexor, but given that pre-season hasn't quite gone to plan for him, that's going to be really interesting to see whether he or Grant starts. I think we can probably be pretty sure that Ben Godfrey will start. Midfield was Tom Tribal, Kenny McLean. Again, I think that might be a hint to what we can expect in that first half at Liverpool, just to be slightly more solid. They were such an important part of the second half of last season, a reliable partnership that complement each other quite well. Then you had Emi Buendia on the right, Marco Stiepermann in the centre, Todd Cantwell on the left. Todd, not quite as influential as Tuesday night because he wasn't in that central role, but still had a very, very bright display. I think he's going to be really pleased overall with his pre-season. Stiepermann got valuable minutes. Mario Vrancic also got about half an hour when he came on. Pukki, of course, starting up front. So I don't think there's too much variance that we can expect there. Whether Cantwell will start on the left at Anfield, I'm not sure. Maybe Patrick Roberts will start ahead of him. That's going to be a close call. So really you're looking at 2 or 3 possible changes from the starting lineup today, but nothing much more than that. So there we go. Pre-season done for another year. We can stop moaning about substitutions and saying, oh, but it's only pre-season for another year, because that's always frustrating. You can never read fully into everything that happens in pre-season. Obviously you can take a few hints here and there, but on the whole I'd say it's been reasonably positive for Norwich. They've still got that momentum, and they can just head up to Anfield as underdogs, really. Not very much pressure on them. Just go for it. If they can get a point, it would be a brilliant result. Just speaking to Kenny McLean after the game, the goal scorer, and he said, obviously they're full of talent. You can talk about that all day long, but they've just got to focus on themselves, make sure they're as organised as they can possibly be, know their game plan, and take on the European champions and just do the best they can. If Norwich lose at Anfield, nobody is going to bat an eyelid. It is not going to matter. It's just going to fit into the Jurgen Klopp narrative. And the European champions kick on from there, of course, trying to go one step further than they did last year in finishing second to Manchester City in the Premier League. So nothing to lose for Norwich, all to gain, much to look forward to throughout this week. Head to pinkman.com for the full report and reaction to this game, and of course we will have absolutely loads for you building up to the big night, and we will be there at Anfield. I'd imagine when they sing You'll Never Walk Alone ahead of kick-off, it's going to be a pretty special moment, because that's going to be the first time The Anfield crowd will have seen their team since on home turf since that night when they beat Tottenham in Madrid in June, early June, and everything that's gone on since, all their players being on international duty, and it's going to be one heck of a night. So keep it locked to Pinker.com throughout the week, and we'll catch up with you soon.